it going, guys? Mitch here. Welcome back to the channel. So I know I haven't made any videos in a long time, but I'm back at it. I got a little bit of time today, so I'm gonna work on pulling the front end out of the Fiero. So let's stop wasting time and get at it. So that sun is really bright, but if you follow me, we'll go into the shade and I'll show you what we're gonna be doing today. All right, let me turn you guys around so you can see what's going on. All right, so we're gonna pull this rusty piece of crap out of here. Gotta pull the steering rack out, the little subframe, and then suspension on both sides. Fairly simple, I hope. Hope it's not gonna take too much. I already started disassembling the suspension on this side, but when trying to remove it, bolt can't get past the tie rod, so I gotta take the steering rack out and then pull the suspension out. So let's get after it. It's out, and that's what matters. Alright, so that was actually a lot simpler to do than I expected. Basically what you gotta do is remove these 3 bolts here on top of the strut. Oh, sorry. And then you remove the 4 bolts holding the sway bar in place. I had to cut that brake line because I couldn't get it undone, but I'm replacing all that anyways. And then same thing on this side, the 3 bolts. And then you have the shock. Then you have to remove the 2 bolts holding the mount on. I think the hardest part was getting the mounts for the water lines off. They are there and there just because they're hard to get to. Steering linkage, pull the bolt off of there. As you can probably see, I got hung up by the rubber boot that seals that. Finding a replacement for that's probably going to be difficult, but it was caught and it was already torn before I started this, so I didn't have too much remorse cutting it. Now, I'm going to salvage what I can off of this, but it's not actually going to be a whole lot. I'm getting a new sway bar with the suspension kit from the Fiero store, getting new springs, getting new shocks. I have to get new hubs. And discs and calipers. I'm going with a Grand Am brake upgrade, so I'll have to get the custom hub that I can put a disc over. These are one piece. Oh, what else? I'm replacing all the bushings on everything. I'll be getting new boots for the steering rack and a new steering stabilizer as well. Yeah. So really the only thing I'm keeping here is the frame, the steering rack itself, and the lower and upper control arms, along with all the mounting hardware. I'm going to clean up what bolts I can, otherwise a lot of them are going to get replaced. The steering end links are also getting replaced. I'm going to order those as well. So really, it's all about taking it apart and cleaning it up, and probably going to sandblast the subframe and, you know, the stuff you do when you are putting way too much time into a beautiful car. So this bar here is going to have to come out as well. I'm going to end up sandblasting that. The under the side of the car is actually in really good condition. All this here looks like corrosion, but it's just dirt. Wipes right off. I haven't washed this car since I bought it. I will have to pull the fuel tank to put the fuel pump for the LS motor in it. So when I do that, I'll probably take a wire wheel to here and here and clean that up. I'll pull these straps off and I'll probably sandblast those and clean them up. Any of these brackets and stuff that are rusted, I'll clean up. I am going to be putting all new brake lines and clutch lines on this thing. This is the rubber boot for the steering linkage that got caught up when I was pulling it out, but it was torn already, so not too worried about that. Gonna have to replace it anyways. But yeah, this is the underside of a Fiero without a steering rack in it. And this is what I was talking about. The hard part on pulling that out was these brackets holding the coolant lines in. Once you have everything else unbolted, this will actually hold the entire rack up if you don't undo them, which I found out the hard way. So once I got those undone, it came out pretty easy. I mean, other than struggling with that. There is another connection right here that you can undo, so you don't have to pull that whole shaft out. I didn't undo that because I didn't realize it until I took it out. But yeah. Alright, so now that I got the front end out of the car, tripping over Fiero wheels here, sorry. I'm going to build a frame dolly, kind of, to move the frame of the car outside and pressure wash the interior and exterior of it. I think this is about as far as I'm going to go in the way of disassembly on the vehicle. Obviously, I mean, I'm going to take the bumpers off and sandblast those because they're rusted. I don't want to have any rust on this car. I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling on right now, but there's really not a whole lot left to do in the way of disassembly. Just clean up and get things ready to put the motor in. Yeah. I did make seat brackets for this. Well, modified the original seat brackets to take a seat like this. This one got destroyed by cats, which I'm upset about, but at the same time, I only had one and I need a pair of them, so I had to order some anyways. But I'll show you guys what I did to modify the bracket to make that seat fit. Still have not tested that with the center console. I'm hoping it fits, but it might not. Again, I haven't tested it yet. Oh yeah. So this is going to be a lot of work. Alright, now I've tested the seat with the center console in. And I mean, it's just set in here loosely, but there is room between the bolster and the console itself. Not so much there, I think it's touching, but that won't really do too much. Anyways, the bolsters aren't going to get in the way of the center console. I mean, it'll push up against the carpeting right there when that's installed, but again, not too big of a deal. Yeah, this is what cats do if you leave your seat uncovered. They destroy it, tear it up. Alright guys, so I brought the front end over to my workshop here, aka my second home. And I'm just going to disassemble it and use our little bit bigger sandblaster over there than what I got at home to clean this thing up. If this subframe does not fit in that sandblaster, then I'm going to have to bring out my portable sandblaster at home and use up a whole lot more media than I want to. But yeah, I'm fighting with the ball joints right now, trying to get this apart. Other than that, if anything crazy happens, I'll update you on that. So I just realized I never made an outro for this video, but essentially I got the subframe sandblasted and primed. It is ready to go in the car. I still have to do the lower control arms. I've done a little bit more to the car that I need to update you guys on, but I will get that video out as soon as possible. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.